Welcome to this demo class on object-oriented programming. Myself N. Karthikeyan, Assistant Professor, Department of CSE, Government College of Engineering, Sengipatti, Tanjavur. In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of inheritance in Java. So we know that inheritance is one of the important element of object-oriented programming language. With the help of this inheritance, we are using the principle of reusability principle. Assume that if you are not following the concept of reusability, then the cost for the development and the time for the development is increased. For example, assume that there are two assignments given for the subject is object-oriented programming language. So in that assignment 2, the assignment 2 consists of some questions of your assignment 1. So before assume that whenever you're going to while you're going to submit an assignment 1, if you assume that you are not, there are two possible cases you are going to assume. One is you are not going to take a backup of your assignment 1 submission, and the second one is you are taken as some backup of your assignment. Okay, for the case 1, you are not taken any backup of your assignment 1. So while preparing the material, while you are preparing an assignment for assignment 2, answer for assignment 2, so we need to know that, we need to find the answer for the same question which is asked in assignment 1, so that we need to redo the same task once again. But even though we know how to develop it, but we need to submit as an assignment, so that we need to write once again. But while before, so that we need some extra amount of a time for writing the same answer of some part of your assignment 1 as a part of your assignment 2. Okay, this is the case 1. Assume that for the case 1, it takes 10 hours to complete. Okay, so let us come for the second case. So if you already have some backup of your assignment 1. So that in this time, there are two possibilities there. One is we can reuse it, just simply we can use the paper, make a Xerox copy of that, you can include it. Or otherwise, just you can copy from the answer itself. So if you are using the reusability principle here, that means for the second case 1, here we are using the concept of reusability principle, so that the time taken for the preparing an answer for the assignment 1 questions in assignment 2 is reduced. So that approximately assume that the time taken for the completion of assignment 2 was just 8 hours. So now you have to compare it. For assignment 1, just you are preparing the answer for the question and you are written as an assignment, submitted as an assignment. For the case 2, there is no need for any extra preparation. We already have a backup of this preparation. Simply we can use that. So that because of that, there are 2 hours of the time is saved. So if you are following the concept of reusability principle, the cost for the development is saved. That means that here the 2 hours will be saved. Assume you are as a manager of a company. So if you are saving the 2 hours of the time of your employee, we can utilize that employee time for some other projects. So that because of this reusability principle, the cost of your development and the time for the development will be reduced. It means it's reduced. So the reusability is an important principle, normally will be followed in object-oriented principle in order to reduce the cost of the development. We are going to discuss about the concept of inheritance. Let us discuss with some examples where the concept of inheritance is applied in a real time. Okay. In first one, for logging into the Google account, it's a Google Classroom. I think many of the students have a clear idea about how to join in a Google Classroom. So if you want to create, you're going to join into any Google Classroom, just we need only one login. That's if you have a Gmail account, simply we can join it. But we know that the Gmail account the login is a separate application. But we can use this logic, some of the properties of this account creation for Gmail Google Classroom application. So that means the Gmail account consists of every Gmail account consists of many fields. For example, name, ID. That means the email ID, then followed by your age, the date of birth, your father name, your contact number. So these are some of the properties. This is a contact number. So you see, these are some of the fields of your Gmail account, and also there are some of your process. There is some of the methods we have. And so like authentication, you need to verify whether you are a valid user or not. That is called authentication function. and maybe setting functions also there, changing the setting of our account, and maybe you are going to talking about that sending a mail, composing a mail, that is called preparing or composing a mail. So these are the different kind of the functions we have, because these are we know that this is our application, so that it consists of different fields. That is called field means that it's the data numbers. So here there are different fields are there. But for joining into the Google account, for joining into the Google Classroom, so just simply we need of only these things for Google Classroom. I am in need of only that. Sorry, I can forget to say another one more thing. That's an important property that is called password. So for joining into the Google Classroom, just I need my email ID, that is called ID, and password is enough, and I need authentication. So these are the things that are enough for us for joining into the Google Classroom. So by using these account, by the fields, and this is the method, by using this method, just I can log in into the Google Classroom. So just I'm using only the sum of the fields of this information, some of the fields of the class Gmail ID. So this is one of the example for usability. Okay, I think many of them know about Swayam portal for NPTEL courses. So, so if you want to join into the NPTEL courses, see either sign in or register. Now, actually, it will log in it because I already have my default login. So just I'm going to log out first. Yeah, see that if you want to log in, there are two possible options they are given. See that they are given are any one of the choice they are going to prefer, means they are going to use for login purpose. One is they are allowing you to create a separate login for login, means login into the account. This is a separate step. So for that, they need to maintain one separate database to maintain your unique field of your ID and password. So that whenever you are going to create a separate login, they need to verify whether the unique account or not. And they are going to create a username and password. For sign up, you are going to fill up it. Or otherwise, they are providing the concept of reusability principle here. So if you have an account in any one of the domain, if you are willing to go with this, you can reuse it. For example, if you have a Microsoft account, you can use it. If you have any Gmail account, you can use it instead of this creating a separate login for NPTEL portal. And if you have any separate Facebook account, you can use a Facebook account for a login. So they are using, that means they are reusing this principle. It means that if you are using a Google account, they are going to take only these three informations from it. That means they are using ID, password, and authentication. So they can use it. For example, I can show you how it will work. So that I'm going to give a Google. So just I'm going to go with the Google verification. So whenever I'm going to create an application, it will ask a username and password. That is called interface with your Google Classroom. Means a Google means a Gmail Classroom. Actually, Classroom is a different, and Gmail is a different, just to make an interface. So that here, the class means here the NPTEL is a my class. The class wants to use the principle of my Gmail. So that it means whenever I go with the Gmail account, just it makes an interface with the Gmail. So it will ask about username and password, but after or login into that, so that it will ask, it didn't ask it. So it will ask that what is the Gmail you wanted, so that you need to perform an authentication principle on that. Okay, so this is another one more example. I think, and the third one, that is for online GDP. I think maybe many of them is having aware of that. It provides the online compiler for running console applications. So here, if you want to work on this online compiler, just we have to means that even there is a procedure we have to create a separate login for this online GDP. So that here see that there is a login. So if you want to log in, as usual procedure, if you want, you can create a separate login. That means a separate login ID for this account, or otherwise you can reuse the principle. It means that if you have any account in Google account or maybe a Facebook account or YouTube account, if you have account in any one of this domain, you can reuse it, not necessary to create it. So if you have it, you can reuse it. So here there is a reusability principle is applied. So then, so assume that if you means if you're not using this login reusability principle, so every user must register. So that whenever they're going to register, they need to check entire database about uniqueness verification. So after uniqueness verification, they need to verify it. But here everything is already verified, and they say every account is a separate, it's a unique identical record, identical account. so that they are reducing the time because they are providing reuse so that the task for searching a record is reduced. For example, if I have a 10,000 information is 10,000 users are joining here. So that whenever I'm going to log in into this account, so the 10,000 records must be fetched. I mean, so while during authentication, we need to fetch some of the information. Based on the search method, it can be varied. So this is another one more example here about that medical insurance scheme. It's announced by our state government and central government. So there is a 5 lakhs of a medical insurance scheme can be able to avail for every family in every year. So that for that we need to have a card. So for providing a card, they are not making any survey. They are not asking every people for register. They are issuing the medical insurance schemes card with the help of the ration card. Means that the card is automatically generated. So if you are registering by using the ration card number, automatically the card for your medical insurance scheme will be created. Downloaded. So they are using the principle of ration card. So by using the ration card information, they reused for this medical scheme. So because of this, due to this, the time needed for taking a survey is reduced. Anyway, for if you want to log in into the online scheme so that we can use already existing account, any one of your ID, we can log in it. So these are some of the examples I just highlighted for indicating the reusability. So because of this reusability, the cost of the development and the time for the development is reduced. So in Java programming language, there are 3 possible ways the concept of reusability is achieved. One is inheritance, second one is a package, and third one is generics. So these are the 3 possible ways. The cost of the development is reduced. This video, just I am going to give a concentration only thing. So the definition of the inheritance is the process of accessing the property of one class into another class. Okay, we are going to show one simple example. I'm going to create a one class. I'm going to say my class name is a demo. Here just I'm going to use only one method. Assume that just to only here I didn't go with any more complicated thing. Just I'm going to go with a simple thing. Just like as a printf statement. So welcome to DCE Tanjavur. So now the class is created. So I'm going to create main class. It's a command line argument. So I'm going to create an object for the demo class. So by using a new operator, just we are creating a memory reference for an object. So by using that object, the properties of the classes are accessed by using dot property. So this is a method. So that just invoked by using dot property. These are the members of the class. So now it's saved. Just I'm going to compile. Here still I didn't go with the reusability. So Java C. So demo.java. So just waiting for a compilation. We know that once the successful compilation, the class will be created automatically. Once successful. So now there is no error. So successfully the class file will be created. Here the name of my class is M. So that I need to run my program with the help of M. So Java M. So this is the procedure for running a Java program. So that it's a welcome to DCE Tanjavur. Okay. So now what I need to do is now we are enter into the semesters. So whenever you are enter into the admission, just we are showcasing that welcome to DCE Tanjavur. So then I'm going to create a one class for assume that you are enter into the first semester. So here what I am going to say that I am going to create a one more method. I'm going to say that. So I'm sorry. So just I'm going to I need welcome to GC, and also welcome to first year. So welcome to this first year. So first year department. So okay, these are the comments I want to add it in my code. So so here instead of this demo, there is I need to create an object on I need to welcome you for the first semester students. So just I'm going to create an object for demo so that for first class. So now I just am compiling. So here there are three classes will be created, one for a demo, one for a first, and one for here the display is not a method. The method name is show. Show is a part of your first class. So but the display is a member function of demo class. So there is no error. So now just I'm going to compile. Sorry, just I'm going to run it. It is also welcome to GCE Tanjore and welcome to first year. See then here just I developed once again because I'm expecting that there are two command ID. One is welcome to GCE, but also I need welcome to first year. But this is the concept of this first year is already implemented. So, but it is a simple and just I can enter it here. But think about the huge concept. That means the already developed application I need. But the consists of 10,000 lines. Think about that. If you want to develop, we need to write all 10,000 lines once again. Instead of that, just I'm going to reuse it because the concept of this welcome to GCE is already implemented here. So that just I'm going to use it. So this is the concept of inheritance. So the properties of the class is needed for this first year for this class. So that I want to use the classes of this demo. I mean, I want to use some of the properties of this demo class to here, so that I want to reuse it here. So for this purpose, I'm going with the concept of inheritance. Okay. So now, so just you can so that how we are going to apply the concept of inheritance. The syntax is you are going to define a base class. So here the base class name is a demo. I want to use the concept of the content of this demo classes into the first class. So then extends is a keyword followed by from which class you are going to access the property. So the extends keyword always to indicate that from which class you are going to, from which type of class you are going to access the property. So here I am going to mention as extends. Extends is a keyword. It always to indicate for reusability. So the reusability of, that means here I am going to use the reusability of the class demo. So now the property, the concept of inheritance is applied. So here I just the object is created for a derived class. So here I need to invoke both the methods for easy understanding. Just for expected output, just you can match with your expected output. Now see that just one more thing I want to point out here for the inheritance. If you want to access anything, means if you want to access the property of your class, by using derived class object, whatever the property you need from this base class will be extracted. I'll repeat once again. So whatever the properties are needed, it will be extracted from the base class. Doesn't mean that you need to extract all the properties of the class. For example, I have one instance variable here, but this instance variable is not used. Only I'm going to use this display. So whatever the property you need from this base class, you're going to extract. I mean, from this demo class, it doesn't mean that we need to invoke all the property. We can invoke the partial properties also. Then after the execution of this, now the sense of this reusability principle, the cost of my development, the time for the development is reduced, means that my program time is reduced. Okay, so now before that, just if you want to understand the concept of inheritance, first of all, we must to understand the two basic terminologies. One is a base class or a parent class or a super class. And the second one is called derived class or child class or extending class or subclass. It means that the class means the property means the properties of the class is used by someone, then it is called as a base class. So here I am going to extend the class first from demo, so that the first class use the property of its own and as well as the property of this demo class. It may be a partial or maybe a full. So this depends on the application, it can be varied. So here the class extends, use the property of display only, so that this is called using a partial property, because there are different property we have in this base class. So one is a field, another one is a display. So here in display I didn't use that variable get. So here I'm just using only this method, that is called only the manipulation. So here I don't use any field variable. So this is called partial extraction. Partial properties are used. But here there is no restriction that only the partial properties are used. If you want, you can use entire property of your base class to derived class. So in this program, the demo class is also called as parent class, also called as a base class, or maybe we call it as a super class. And here the class first is called as derived class, or maybe a subclass, or maybe extended class, or extending class, or maybe it is also called as a child class. So if you want to access anything, so if you want to access any properties, always you can create an object for the derived class. So we are going to create an object for the derived class. By using this object for the derived class, just you are going to extract the properties. Extract the properties of the base class. So this is the basic way we are going to use the concept of inheritance. So many of them think that for which situation I need to go for inheritance. So whenever I'm going to develop application, always you are looking for already developed classes. From that you have to identify, is there any relationship between the existing classes with the current application. If there is a relationship exists, then you can go with inheritance. Otherwise, no need to go with the concept of inheritance. Thank you.